Record right now, okay? All right, all right. This is my friend Shamin, who we've known each other for how long, Shamin? It's been 10 years, right?
10 years, almost 10 years. We met up
Damn,
in
that's
Union Square, yeah.
Union Square, right? With Daniel. Yeah, that's really cool, man. That's really cool. So I wanted to interview you because you said you did a Vispassana meditation retreat.
Yeah. I just completed a 10 days Vipassana a few weeks ago in India.
How did you find out about it?
I found out, I mean, I knew there was something called Vipassana. I had said friends do it, but then I think it was you who told me how to find the dharma.org. I think you
Oh
did
shit!
one
I told you
complete.
about it.
Yeah, you told me the institution where to find, like it was a
Oh
free thing, and
shit!
then I've been looking. I think where did you do it?
I
Did it in
did
the United
it.
States?
I did it. Yeah, I did it in Idaho, the most boring state on the planet. Like, it's not even, like, yeah, I did Idaho, yeah. But okay, so how long did it take you from when you find out to like to do it? Like how long? It's like a long time for the.
It took a long time, yeah, because there was no the time wasn't right for me, because you
Yeah,
have to book it you have to a few months ago because otherwise it gets filled, right?
yeah, it gets filled up fast. Well, the ones like it's funny in Brazil, they have them every weekend.
Oh,
Like,
that's
yeah, like just every weekend. So like, some countries have a lot have more than others. Like I'm in Mexico here, and yesterday I woke up in the morning and then it said 10-day retreat open spot for this Wednesday, and I'm like, fuck. I'm
Are you
like,
doing
I'll sign
it?
up. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm going. Yeah, fuck.
Nice. Where in Mexico City?
No, yeah, it's like 2 hours, 2 hours from 3 hours from Mexico City. Yeah.
Nice.
Um, but okay, so tell me, how was what got you to do it? Like what was like the push?
Yeah, great question. I started meditation many years ago, but then like seriously around 2 years ago, just understood, internalized the idea, the feeling of meditation and what benefits it might have. But then I've never done long hours of meditation. So with any practice, if you want to go deep, you have to do it consistent. And I think Vipassana and then gave me that tool. And I think what you have told me, the experiences you had, the insights you had were also kind of inspiring. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot. I know 10 hours a day could be quite grueling. But yeah, I just did it. I was in Asia visiting family. So and then I had to come to the United States. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go through India. And then I had a wedding in India. So I'm like, okay, I have there are 10 days, and then the funny thing is 10 days of silence, and then I had to go to an Indian wedding. It was crazy, bro.
Hell no, that's tough, bro. That's tough. Oh my God, you feel autistic.
Yeah, it's just like when you're in silence, right? You feel it, right? How you feel calm, and you really you're enjoying the silence, you're enjoying the contemplation, your own space, your thoughts. But then you go out there and you see all these booms and sounds and dancing. Like, damn, what's happening? I want to be back to silence, right?
What do you mean enjoy? What?
I began to the first few days were tough, to be honest.
From one out
Um,
of ten, how tough was it?
the first few days, I would say 1 out of 10. Tough, I would say is 8, 7 to 8.
God, that's crazy good.
No, I think it's just because of practice. I think there are many people there who are asking me, how can you sit that long without moving, right? And it comes back to, it's not that I'm like natural like this, naturally gifted. It's because I have trained myself to sit in a place and meditate for maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes. There are times I went
Wow.
an hour. So the previous years has sort of prepared me for this moment, but still the pain is real. Like, your body, ah, man, it's real.
It's almost like an athletic, like a backwards athleticism.
Yeah.
Like it's like what the like like it's legit. The Buddha was a legit athlete, like a spiritual athlete, because he said, "I'm not moving until I get
Yeah.
enlightened." Bro, that's an athletic feat. If it,
Yeah, man. Buddha was in a different level, bro.
He was. I think. Yeah, he was. But you know, the funny thing is with him is that he just was determined. He had iron will,
Hmm.
like just will. He was sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know,
Hmm.
like. But you know, what's crazy for me? It was a 10 out of 10 every day, every day. It was the most torture. And what I think the reason why that is because some people have more negative karma than other people, right? I most likely, I'm more fucked up than most people. Like, nothing wrong with that. It's just like a fact. So it's like if you have more issues, it's gonna be more intense in the first few retreats. Some people are like have a blissful time, and that's because they maybe had a good karma. They've accumulated and they don't have as much baggage. Other people, if you have addictions, it's just you're gonna be thinking of crack. You're gonna be thinking of that addiction, and you're gonna want to leave every second. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so keep telling me. So how was the first day? What were you expecting from?
Yeah, I mean, I had no expectations because I mean, yeah, to be honest, the
Did you go by
expectations,
yourself? Did you go with other people?
I went by myself. I
Okay.
went by myself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think obviously the expectation is, to feel bliss or something really cool after 10 days. That's the mind playing, oh, I want to feel like, whoa, I'm like flying because the stories I've heard are because there is some you reach certain states of samadhi or like your body gets dissolved. Like, I don't know if you ever had psychedelics. You did probably. So you know how how it just takes you to a really beautiful state for some people or for some time.
Huh?
So I had some strange expectations, I would say. But yeah, I mean, but I think it was mostly curiosity and like a challenge to myself. Can I sit down and do it for 10 hours? It's sort of like, can I do it? Can I, I have tried so many things. This is tough. Let me sit down. And I think there was another event in my life back in 2016, I believe. I did what is called a vision quest. So
Oh,
basically, it's sort of like a Native American tradition where someone goes to nature and stays in a spot for 4 days and 4 nights and water fasting, basically, and not moving at all.
yeah,
Not moving at all. I did that 2016, and it was really tough as well. But I think those little moments where you sort of achieve something, put something in your psyche that okay, maybe I can go further. Maybe I can go further. So I think that
yeah,
also prepared me in a way.
yeah. Like Tony Robbins calls it like reference experiences, right? Where it's like if you have a negative experience, then you're gonna expect it. The next thing is gonna be worse. But since you had good positive spiritual experiences, then you're like, oh, what else? What else is possible? It's interesting because interesting how your motivation to do something as intense as 10-day retreat was curiosity. Like for me, it was pure desperation. Like there was no curiosity, so it's kind of like and you said it wasn't like an 8 out of 10. It was like 8 out of 10 for you, right? Or 7 out of 10 in terms of difficulty.
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
Wow. Yeah, that you definitely most likely, yeah, you definitely had were advanced spiritually if it was that easy. Because
No,
I
but I think 8 out of 10 is still hard, bro. I mean, sitting there, and I think also another powerful motivation was during the trip as well. Like, I really enjoyed Goenka's lectures, like how you have the discussion, the
Mhm.
discourse. I
Uh-huh.
really felt it. Like, what was the purpose of this? We all just to add context to the users, the one of the main goals of Vipassana is to move your mind to an equanimous state, right, where you don't crave something or you don't hate something, right? Because the more you sit down, all these emotions come up. So the main thing is how do you come into the equanimous state. So I think that was a great motivator for me as well. Like, how do I, you know, I'm spending like this 10 days, 10 hours a day. I would love to make a change in my system, right? Otherwise, it's a waste of time. Not, and time is very limited, right? We have moments just slip away. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it no matter what. So I
Right.
think that also played
And
into
what do you think was some of the insights? By the way, those lectures, and when you go there, when you listen to those lectures on in the retreat, are fucking insane, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
you're like, what the fuck? Like, and like if you hear it again right now, like where you are right now, you're like, oh, this is simple as shit.
yeah,
When you're in there, you're like, some Scada, what the hell is that? Oh, that's crazy. Like, what were
right?
some of the insights that stuck out to you from that experience?
Yeah, I think the first few days it was more inside. The first few insights were based on how my mind works because when you sit still, you are always after a few minutes because first you have to observe your breath, maybe go to different points in your body, but then boom, you see how the mind plays, right? And the mind is sort of playing this game where it takes you to the past, takes you to the future, makes you think about all these things, right? Like right now,
Mhm.
like today it's I'm in Austin. It's around going to be 6:30. My entire day, my body, my sense organs, like I have experienced a lot of things, right? And this is an accumulation in my memory. But then it's going to play out. Those are sort of like the substance for thought, for future thought. So one of my biggest observation was that how what I cannot sit still in the beginning, right? It's like, why is this thought coming? I'm like, damn, I feel like, oh. And then, the lecture tells you it's okay. The teaching there was, are you aware of the thought and can you come back to the thing? So it's okay to think, to have all these thoughts and just come back. And it took some time to grab sort of have a slight control over that. You can't really control your mind, but then you can sort of observe it. But then you come to that state, and then with more as the days passed, I was able to reach a state where just pure silence. And then when the then was the time you experience like higher levels. If the mind is continuously playing, it might be complicated. So the first few days they train you how to still your mind using the breath.
Hold Anapana, right?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Anapana, yeah. Yeah, and that's like I call it. It's almost like inflammation of the body, right? When your body's inflamed, it's because it's healing itself, right? But
Mm,
with inflammation comes pain. You're like, oh fuck, this hurts. But it's like, no, that's the healing process. So when you're meditating and you lose and you get distracted, that's literally like inflammation. It's like eventually it's gonna get more lower and lower and lower and more focused, and to the point where there's nothing else there. But if you keep getting distracted, it just means that you still got to keep focusing, until you get to the point where it's just pure awareness, pure sensation. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It is it's interesting. It's just and yeah, the way
What
our
I
mind
what I
works.
found interesting is how like the first few days, this part was vibrating like hell. Like it was
Which part?
the
Yeah.
nose. You like, and because it was vibrating, it was much easier to stay aware of that sensation.
Mm,
Like a lot of people lose awareness of the breath because it's so subtle. So they're not able to capture they're not able to perceive that reality, you know.
mhm,
And what I notice is that what we're looking for is for the vibrations to increase, because when the vibrations increase, the mind activity also decreases.
mm.
Like the more the mind activity increases, the less the vibrations decrease. But you're not chasing the vibrations, right? That's the point. It's like a byproduct of what you're actually doing, which is just observing, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Well said. Well said. There are a lot of sensations in our body, and many of us, like most of us, are very not aware. But then, through the Vipassana practice, you tune into all those subtle sensations in the body, and for
Oh,
that, your mind has to be still.
it has to, and for me, when right now I practice. I mean, I meditate like 2 or 3 hours a day.
Mm,
Which I do that by 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes throughout the day, 20 minutes here and there through like on taxis, you know. And I also have like a Zoom meditation, so we meditate on Zoom, and and yeah, like you're you sort of like at first it's a little weird that you don't think a lot. So it's a weird sensation not to think because you're so used to it. In fact, some people have psychotic breakdowns because they're not thinking the same way. Like it's almost like they're experiencing a new reality. And sometimes you just have a psychotic breakdown because you're just so used to clinging on to your thoughts, you know? But that's because you're just not used to having peace.
Mm,
Like some people are so conditioned. It's like cleaning a dog. It's like cleaning something that doesn't want to be clean. Like you clean it and they
mhm.
feel uncomfortable. Some people some people's mind, they're so identified with their mind that when they see their true self, they just want to go back to their old selves, to their old misery.
Yeah, yeah, it's everyone is different. Like you said, everyone has a different karma, and different destiny. So yeah, this new realities could be a point of breakdown for a lot of people if you are. But I think the challenge is, how do you come into stillness? For me at least, it's stillness, and like how do you bring it to life? Like you're saying, you're meditating in the taxi, right? How do you bring it into this life?
Yeah, right.
Like,
It's pretty. Mm-mm.
yeah, yeah. So, just so you said do you follow the same Vipassana meditation of observing the body?
Yeah, I
Beautiful.
do the body scan. The only difference, the only thing that I do different is the metta meditation. I don't like the way Cuenca does it.
Hmm.
Like him and his wife have a little fucking duo, and then and then they come back for an encore. Like they'll leave and come back. In the retreat, I started laughing, and I had to step out, and people were laughing because I was laughing. Like they started hearing me like go like and I just ran out, and it was the funniest moment in my life. I swear to God. But the reason why is because like when they do the meta, I just don't feel it. I don't like the way they do it. The way that I do it, I learned it from Dr. K. He's like an Indian healthygamer.com. You heard of him?
Mm-mm.
Healthy Gamer. You know him. He's an Indian, but not he's a let me show you. Healthy Gamer. Let me show you. I know you've seen him before. Um
Yes, yes, I've seen his
yeah, yeah,
videos. Yeah.
yeah. And he said he taught a meta meditation. The way he does it is that he says, look at five people and say to them, may you be well, may you be at peace, and may you be happy. And you look at them and you make eye contact and you say that with all your heart. And I like to put the Titanic music in the background. And
Very, very creative.
bro, when you do that, you feel like legit, you cry. You cry all the time. Like in fact, don't even do that around your friends because you're gonna cry. Like so it's that's the only thing about the Vispassana that I didn't outside of that.
Yeah, yeah, I think everybody's different, right? You're basically Meta usually teaches you how to access your heart space, right? Your loving space. So they're doing it through imagination and visualization, but you are also adding some sensory inputs like the Titanic music and the Dr. K. You are actually doing it in real life. You're trying to make it give that loving energy to people in real life. So that is another way, right? So, but ultimately, you are trying to access the loving space. From you're trying to spread it out into the world.
Honestly, something that I genuinely do when I take a taxi and I don't feel like meditating, put the Titanic music on, and just every person that I look at, may you be well, may you be well, may you be at peace. And like seriously, what you're doing is that you're conditioning compassion for strangers. Like you're
Mm.
conditioning it with music that you associate with compassion, right? And I genuinely think it's almost like working out that muscle. You're working it out. And what I notice is that you actually become more extroverted naturally. Like compassion will lead you to extroversion. Not too
Mhm.
much, where that comes from insecurity, like pickup guy, right? But like a moderate amount enough where people feel comfortable, where you look at them and they feel like a softness in your gaze.
Yeah, if it's a real if there's authenticity in your expression, if it's real, like in the Vipassana retreat, the reason they do the metta meditation after the actual meditation is because you feel well inside, and then you can transmit that, right? If you're feeling a shitty day, even if you try that, it might come off as not authentic because people through mirror neurons and other visual cue, people can really understand what you're trying to transmit, right? Hate, anger, jealousy, fear, etc., right?
Hmm.
But if it's come from a genuine space, you'll see people react to it in a soft, nice way. Some people will smile, some people will be drawn to you, want to be closer to you, want to get to know you. So it's a real
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah, and the thing is that studies show that metta meditation produces more pro-social cues in people, meaning like the non-verbal things you do that that arises from a state of compassion, you unconsciously do the right things because like when you're afraid that somebody rejects you, you unconsciously do the wrong thing, even if you try to do the right thing.
Mm.
But when you're not thinking about rejection, but rather you see the soul in that person, and I don't know from your experience, like one of the things about this that has affected me the most is how much compassion it increases in you. Like you feel, and the compassion you feel isn't like a condescending compassion. Like for me, when I look at someone, I say, oh my God, I know this person is afflicted by their mind. Like
Mhm.
I know they're smiling at me, but I know deep down they're suffering. And I learned something that could liberate them. And it's almost like you give them thank you for the coffee. Like it's almost like I don't know how to put it. Like you just see the child in them, and people react to
Yeah, it's a true experience. I might try. I might steal this technique from you and Dr. K, and maybe
that.
try that. Yeah, it's
Yeah, dude.
um,
Okay. From your experience, how has like empathy and compassion like changed? Because I think to me in my experience, I think that's the most important change because it's an aggressive energy. Compassion is like an assertive energy.
hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've been meditating for like actual meditating for almost 2 years, and I think meditation has that aspect. Or I've been, there are other practices where you feel the different chakras. So, like you have the heart center here. So one of the in Eastern philosophies, like either you say like Chinese or Indian, the essence of love comes from the heart. But the issue is we are always trapped in the mind. Mind is, it could be a lot of analytical. So one of the teachings is basically how do you connect the mind and the heart, right? So Vipassana, and there are really other powerful meditation techniques. It doesn't matter which one, if it has a strong lineage, goes back far out, and has good like followers, and like you have reference experiences and like validation, etc. So Vipassana, yes, through meditation, I feel that it will definitely increase your compassion, and compassion is one of the core tenets, qualities you will develop in the path of spirituality, right?
Yeah. Another aspect of that is that the realization of impermanence,
Mm,
and that they like when I see other people, I know they're under the illusion that they're not going to die. Like I know that they don't they're holding on to to permanence. Like it's almost like so you sort of say, oh wow, like when I see younger people, I know that if somebody's younger, this person thinks they're going to be young forever. And from that belief is an actual fear of death. So it's almost like when you see young people, I'm like, oh, okay, they're afraid of that, and you have compassion because it's like, yeah, it's fucking scary, like so it's almost like how has your relationship to the concept of death changed? Because that's a big thing when you observe things arise and pass away through meditation. Like it changes the way you see the ultimate reality.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We are stuck in the illusion of permanence. Definitely. Everything. It's like generally, I think, for an untrained person, I do feel a bit of compassion for them for not knowing. Even, we forget too, right? We are human beings. You're busy, see, you're busy making a beautiful piece of art, right? Or podcast, you don't have time to think about death or something, right? But that's why, when you're meditating, you just come to your center, and then you slowly, it's a real thing. The world, one of the meditation I've learned from another teacher back long in the past was, You know, where you can reflect of at this moment in time, things are always moving and dying. There are plants, animals, they're dying, decaying, going to the soil, you know, regenerating into something else, etc. So this cycle is always happening, right? It's even if you don't see it at this moment in time, it is happening. So when you tap into that, remember. The trick is to remember because we keep on forgetting.
Yeah, right. The Buddha says, he said the enlightened one knows he's breathing. He knows he is moving. He knows
Mm.
he is like knowing, like the awareness, in other words, connecting with reality. You know, because
Hmm.
if you don't know that you're breathing, you're reacting to your mind. It's just- you know, if you don't know that you are aware of awareness, you're in your mind.
Absolutely. Yeah. Breath. So that's why breath is the simplest, but also the most underrated. And people don't know that they have all the tools within their body and mind that they can train themselves through reflection and meditation to reach these beautiful states, right?
Yeah,
Because
mhm.
because we are always like, you know, I mean, I do understand because we live in a world where, you know, we have to thrive, we have to make money, take care of family, you know, some people are, you know, questing for power. So there's so many different cravings, right? So I understand it's sometimes, you know, something happens in your life and then that will bring you to the center. Sometimes it's a negative thing, some form of struggle that will sort of like, you know, put you sad, and then something happens inside, right? Something breaks and like, you know, I'm tired of all this illusion. Like, why does this repeat and repeat and repeat? And then you like snap. I think it was you read The Power of Now, right? Like, I think Eckhart Tolle had that moment when he was contemplating suicide,
Yeah.
something like that, right? So these are the moments that sort of, you know, uh, open like takes on take out the veil from you.
It's a like for example, me, I have ringing in my ear, right? Hmm. And and I went to a few doctors. They didn't give me good answers, but I went to another doctor the other day, and they told me that I had hypertension, meaning like high blood pressure, and that
Mm,
was because I was eating bad, you know. And this whole time, I knew I was eating bad. I was drinking, I was like, having like a few beers a day, smoking weed, eating bad, eating out all the time, not cooking, like just going for the easy things, like easy, not cooking, ordering, right? Not water, soda, like just the easy routes, like highways, taking highways, right? Not going local. And then I got told that, you know, I have high blood pressure. Well, guess what? That's what I needed because for one, it's not a disease yet, right? Because you develop diseases from that, but it's something that wakes you up. And the negative thing actually allowed me to get connected with reality. I was on my way to disease, colon cancer, all of that kind of stuff, heart attacks. That they call it a silent killer, right? It's a silent killer because you don't have symptoms. You just have a heart
mm,
attack and you die. I had ringing in my ear,
mm,
and that ringing got me to slow down and reassess my whole life, right? And that's what meditation does. Is that meditation allows you to learn your lesson quicker. Like you don't have to go through the same lessons over and over and over and over again until you have cancer and then you stop smoking cigarettes. Right? With meditation, you have one bad day where your heart, with your lungs hurt, and that it like because it increases your gray matter and your decision making, automatically you're like, okay, I'm done smoking. Like
mm,
it's like eventually, if you keep meditating, eventually you'll get to the right conclusion in everything. Maybe not now, but eventually you will because you're connected with reality. You're connected with the breath, which is happening, which is true. That also allows you to connect with the other forms of reality. The fact that you're
mm.
eating bad, the fact that you're like, it's a beautiful thing, honestly. Like it truly is. Like you can't stay if you meditate long enough, eventually every bad thing you do you'll stop doing eventually. It's crazy.
I really like that insight where you connected the breath to other forms of reality. That's a really good insight. Yes, yes. And let me just plug this in real quick.
Yeah.
And since you mentioned, eating unhealthy, it's the way the world is designed, right? It comes another thing I feel meditation had done to me is like an outer form of awareness of how do you live a life that is much more beneficial to you. You eat the right food, you hang out with the right crowd, you do the right actions, you learn the right things, you read the right things. Um, so eating more organic food, avoiding sugar, cutting down any bad habits that you have, smoking cigarettes, drinking, and things like that. So it'll bring you because at the end of the day, it's very tough for you to come to that stillness and calmness if you have all these bad habits, right?
Mhm.
If you, let's say, you keep on drinking, it affects your sleep, you wake up a lot, it makes you tired, it's very hard for you to meditate, for
Mhm.
example, right? So you're also sort of creating an outer reality that'll benefit you.
Exactly. Yeah, it's almost like if you meditate, you'll notice that okay, drinking in the next when I'm in the next morning, I feel a little weird. I can't concentrate as much. Like, you know what, man, I really want to let me not drink that much. It's almost like you eventually you'll cut off everything bad eventually, and nobody has to tell you. Like if I see somebody who does Vispassana and they smoke cigarettes, I don't care because if they keep meditating, eventually they'll be so in touch with their bodies because they're scanning it that they'll finally they'll like they'll feel the consequences of the future right now. Like it's almost like
Mhm.
they're able to connect with the reality of what's gonna happen. Like it's truly like a because think about it. If you're smoking and you're not meditating, it's very easy for you to suppress those thoughts of I'm gonna die one day. But if you're meditating, those thoughts will arise. Like you're
Like,
gonna you're gonna feel that fear. All of the things you try to suppress because you don't meditate, they're gonna arise. And over time, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, four, I don't. Eventually, you're gonna stop. Eventually, it's inevitable.
Yeah, absolutely. That's also that's a good frame of mind thinking, that using those thoughts to sort of make that change, letting meditation bring up those thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and you're
observing
right.
them, not reacting. And it's that's why I don't judge people who meditate. Like you can smoke crack, I don't give a fuck, you know, because eventually you're gonna come to the right conclusion, right? And if you have good karma, eventually you're gonna find this. Like eventually you're gonna find this path if you have good karma,
And
you
one of the core aspects of like the one of the truths that Buddha said was suffering, right? One of the realities in life is suffering. No matter how wealthy, whatever you have, whatever you have acquired, you're meant to suffer because there everything is impermanent. You're growing old, you might have this pain, this loss, that loss. You are bound to suffer. And the practice teaches you to come to that unreactive state where the suffering, should not, I mean, will not affect you that much. You can sort of, stay in the equanimous state. I'm not saying I have reached that state. It's far. I'm still far. I'm still in this. Eventually, I'm a human being. But the point is that there is suffering, and he went further. Like I mentioned, it's like
know.
aversion, craving and aversion. Once you have those two things, you'll definitely suffer. So his idea was to come up with a technique that will, if there is craving, you are not you are experiencing the craving, you're experiencing the pleasure, but you're not attached to it. Same goes for suffering. Yeah,
Mhm.
you experience the suffering, you let it go, and you understand the impermanence nature of that, and you will basically sort of not be associated with it, not be conditioned by it, right? Not be
Yeah,
affected by it.
you know what's crazy? Like a lot of people only are good at one or the other. Like they're good at accepting suffering or they're good at accepting pleasure. Like so, for example, like um, you might start meditating because you're depressed, okay? But as soon as you stop being depressed, you stop meditating, right? Or you might meditate because you're happy. But as soon as the doctor tells you you might have a heart condition, all of a sudden you stop meditating.
Mhm.
So you get what I'm saying. So it's almost like, and this happens a lot in drug addiction, where people relapse not because something bad happened, but because something good happened. They want to
Mm.
celebrate. I got a new job. Let me smoke some crack just one time.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's almost like, for me, it's for me what got me to stop meditating were bad times. I
Mhm.
was really good at meditating during good times, but then when I got the ringing in my ear, I had no other choice, because that shit just drove you nuts. Like every day, especially at night, you would hear that shit. It's crazy, and I thank God for that, because one of the things that as you get older, you have a higher likelihood of becoming enlightened, because the more your body gets weaker, the more you have to let go. But when you're young,
Mm.
there's not a lot of suffering. Death is not in front of you. But as you get older, more things happen, which allows sankaras to arise, because
Mm.
now you're almost dying, and now you gotta let go of that. But those will never arise if you're young. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Just to give context, Sankara is sort of like imprints from the past, your aversions and cravings, all these imprints in your DNA. I mean, if you believe in the idea of reincarnation, it's a tricky topic. Some like religions like Hinduism and Buddhism and maybe a few other traditions that they believe there's this reincarnation and your actions from this life transmutes to that life, especially the sankharas, the imprints. So that is the idea of sankara, and that is what comes up according to Buddhist traditions.
I
Um,
say it's in the body,
if
right?
I'm It's in the body, yeah. Yeah, if I got because I'm also a new student of Vipassana and Buddhism, I'm learning. So yeah, the sankharas, just to give context, are those things. Yeah, so has your ringing sort of have were you able to get rid of it, or has it been cured?
Let's see. It's gone down. But you know what's funny, when I noticed it went down, I got happy, right? I reacted. This whole time I wasn't reacting. Every time I observed I heard it, I scanned the body. But
Hmm.
because it went away, I allowed myself to celebrate. I was like, fuck meditation. But that, you see, that is how the ego gets back. That's how you create more sanskaras, right? You're
Hmm.
reacting to something positive. It's the same thing as reacting to something negative.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's
you're.
almost like I have to, like, keep myself, like, at that middle ground where good things don't shake it and bad things don't shake it. It's like you're an unshakable piece, and that's the practice. And that's the thing, right? So I was literally telling this my friend the other day. It's kind of like I shouldn't. I was at a point where I don't care if it goes away or if it stays, but secretly I did want it to go away. You know, one second. Di- Dime. Huh? Yeah. Okay. One second. Secretly, I did want it to go away. Give me a second, Shamin. Okay, I got one second, okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right, Shamin, sorry about that. Um,
It's all good.
all right, so what were we talking about?
Yeah, we spoke about a bit about sanskaras and how. No, I think the last thing was your ears. You said
Oh,
it's how you reacted
yeah, I
in your
reacted to it.
side.
Yeah, but it's whatever. It's it's eventually I'll come to the point where it doesn't matter. I'm starting, I'm learning. So you learn through your physical afflictions and mental afflictions. Um, so are you currently like teaching meditation? What are you currently up to?
Um, I teach people like I give them an introduction to meditation. Um, how to start at least because I think that's the crucial step because the biggest challenge is how do you create the space within internally and externally. So I speak about that and I've studied different traditions. I've taught a few people, but I'm mostly also teaching myself as well. I'm learning, going deeper. That is my current goal, how to go deeper into meditation because
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. Because just coming to the first aspect is first of all, if you have never meditated before or you are interested in meditation, it's always good to create the right environment, right? You want to find a nice space, create a space where you always meditate, have a nice cushion to sit down, um, and no noise, nothing, a good light. Just create the right space for you. That's first of all, and then get a good night's sleep, eat well, create the time, make sure your phone is turned off or in silent mode. So you're creating all the necessary steps to sort of facilitate your entry into meditation. So that is number one. And then you can start with like, how Goenka teaches. You can start with just a simple breath, the Anapana meditation, right? I think anyone can learn that. Anyone can
Yeah.
learn
Anyway.
that.
Yeah.
Anyone can learn that, yeah. So yeah, there are
And
so
is that
many. Sometimes people get confused. There are so many different traditions, and it's always good to research because when I was there, people like all the other kids, like all the other, there were a lot of, I think, 40, around 40 of us there.
Mhm.
And they were asking me, Shamim, what do you think about Vipassana? How come you're sitting straight like this? I didn't see you move, and etc., etc. So yeah, it's just because I tell them it's not because I'm some superhuman or like naturally like that. It's because there was a point in time I started starting to sit down, and it happened slowly and consistency. Do it daily. If you can do if 30 minutes is too much for you, start with 10, move to 15, incremental change, and then be consistent. Like you do 30 minutes in the morning and you select time. So one thing I've seen that the more I'm able to create the routine, the more routines I can create for other things in life. It can make you really disciplined.
that's a
I
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
No, no, your voice was now I can hear you. Yeah.
No,
Mhm, mhm.
that man, after I did my first retreat, bro, my productivity just stopped.
Are you
Like
do
it was
have how many you have done a few,
I've,
right?
I've done two. Yeah, two. I'm about it, yeah, two of them. But the first thing that I noticed, bro, I could make more YouTube videos. I could paint for longer periods of time. I could do multiple things in one day. Like for example, if I got to go upstairs to get something, I don't just say I'm tired. I go upstairs. like
Hmm.
like it's almost like you have a button that just says do this and you do it. Like because the truth is I don't want to meditate every day. I don't. I
Hmm.
just say okay. Once I close my eyes, I have to finish it.
So you
It's
see,
almost like
right?
yeah, like you're David Huberman talked about how he says do things that you don't want to do. Not things that you didn't want to do at first and now you want to do. Not that, but that things that you actively don't want to do. Like getting through that threshold does something to your brain. And every single day I don't want to meditate.
Yeah,
So,
it's because what I've seen is, I think from personal experience, is the reason you don't want to do it, or the reason you want to go upstairs and do it is, according to Huberman, it's lack of dopamine, and because it's a driving force, right? Your neurotransmitter dopamine, and for focus, it's choline. Your body is a mashup, it's an interplay of all these neurotransmitters, right?
Mhm,
Giving your sense of reality. So what meditation does, it resets your system, right? You it just happens because there is the reason you don't want to, because there is something stopping you, right? What is it that what is that thing that is stopping you? You try to understand, feel it, right? Why am I not doing such and such action? What is that feeling? Because emotions are our drivers, right? The feelings are a driver, oh, I don't want to do this, I feel sluggish, tired, demotivated. So you have all this different range of things that is stopping you, blocking you from reaching your potential, or taking an action that you need to do, either paint or things like, because like, look at you back when I met you were not a painter. It's something you thought yourself, went to school, you're motivated, and you worked hard on it. You you spent time and effort and dedicated action, even to making this YouTube channel. It's all active effort, right? And
mhm.
it came from a place of internal motivation.
Exactly.
And if you
Exactly.
keep on if you keep on consuming things that, like, mindlessly scrolling through social media, you know spending hours on Netflix, spending people, with like useless things. So they are not motivational drivers. So be in that space, be in that energy, read great books, listen to great podcasts, be with people that inspire you, right? I like to spend time with people who are better than me, because I'm always like taking in, like, this guy's meditating, that guy's like 5 hours, 6 hours, like, wow, oh, I want to do that. Like,
All right. Yeah. Not, it's funny. Like one of the things that I'm learning the last few months is is controlling what your eyes see, because a lot of your desires and aversions come from the eyes. Literally, like just half of your negative karma can go away if you just control what you see. So, for example, like let's just say I'm walking down the street and I see a bunch of beautiful girls, right? And I have a girlfriend, right? And I'm looking, and if, when I look at the point of contact, my eyes at the point that my eyes see the girl, and I receive it, I'm like, she's so fucking hot. Oh, she's so hot, right? And now what's happening? Now you're creating a chain reaction of aversions, desires, and you're creating unnecessary attachments. In that moment, you literally were not aware of your breath. You created new negative sanskaras, and that accumulates over the days. And the thing is that if you just didn't see that, like just the mere seeing it, if you just didn't see that, you didn't have to make that extra effort to be present. Like it just minimizing what your eyes see, minimizing what you read, the podcast you listen to. I know it sounds religious, right? Because it sounds like, oh, you got to be holy and like not watch that movie. Look, I was watching The Shining the other day, bro. Okay, and it's a scary movie, but I swear to God, I felt something. I was like, wait a minute, I'm scared. But it nothing wrong with being scared. But I felt like I was reacting, like there was like a lot of reactions. Like you wouldn't think that that's because it's not a bad movie, but it's like it's such a good movie that you react to it, and it creates aversions, like aversions that your body will use to distract you, to make you unhappy. And it just sounds so moral, like, oh, don't watch scary movies. You get what I'm saying? But if you really want to get enlightened, those things will create samskaras, new negative reactions. You get what I'm saying?
That's a really good insight. And also what you'll see is that, the more the what I've heard from different teachers is, when you reach that enlightened state, the peace, your breath should be really like, simple, simple, right? Because But then what happens is we are, and in health wise as well, the more ups and downs you have, the more emotionally and physically it's going to hurt you. Like things like mood whips or extreme agitation, extreme sadness, extreme happiness, which is on the extreme end of the spectrum. It's not that good for your, even mental health as well. So the idea falls back, should you watch these movies, or should there are two aspects of it, like you're saying, the visual aspect, right? All these sensory experiences are going to trigger something and you'll react. So there are two aspects of it. Are you The first aspect is, don't put yourself in a state where you think, you will be vulnerable, you will be sort of be in a state where the chances of you getting triggered and put into a high emotional state are high. So don't try your best not to put yourself in the state. And the second, also the simultaneous practices, practice the breath, practice the equanimous state. So I think these two are great ingredients if you want to sort of push for that enlightened state, in the future, or at least get, get it. Don't have to be super enlightened, and it's just forget enlightenment. Okay, maybe that's the ultimate goal, but even just for you to develop that because the more relaxed you are, the more generally the correlative effects you'll see, the more compassionate you are, right? Think about that. Like if you feel good, if you're relaxed, you'll be nicer to other people. You'll be nicer to your friends and family. People will throw darts at you, or like, do this, shout at you, call you names. You'll be less affected. It's not going to affect your nervous system. You're in a calm state, unreactive state.
Yeah, you just because you know that they're suffering. Like it's not it's not like a condescending thing like, oh, who hurt you? It's not condescending. It's just that you might have punched me in the face and I protected myself and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna hold on to that resentment because I can promise you what's going on inside of you hurts more than what you hit me. Like
Hmm.
the fact that you felt a desire to hit me says that you are really suffering. And what's funny is that because look at that perspective. That is completely different than the perspective of most people, which is, oh, this motherfucker hit me. Like it's a complete fucking. It's like yeah, like it's just a completely different perspective. Like you almost like you understand why he did that. You understand you're not the victim here, even though you are, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not making excuses for people, but that you at a spiritual level, him hitting you doesn't cause you to lose awareness of what's really happening. And if you stay in a compassionate state, it means that you're still in that state. Like that's why Jesus, when he was getting killed, Jesus said, Lord, forgive them because they know not what they do. He was still
Hmm.
present. Like he understood, like from a Buddhist perspective, what he said, it's kind of crazy. Because like imagine you're being tortured and you still have the awareness to stay compassionate. That's wild, bro. Imagine you're in the Game of Thrones character, the guy whose dick got cut off, and like he has compassion for. Like, imagine that. That's what Jesus went through, bro. It's crazy shit, man. Compassion is crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, he was a
So like,
really powerful
it,
character. Yeah.
even with dating, like if a girl cancels a date on me, I don't take it personal no more, man.
Mm.
Because it's almost like it's almost like I get it. Like I'm a random person. You don't know me. Like maybe you were feeling down, and when you said yes to me, like you just don't take things personal because you understand that most of the things that people do to you are not personal. It's just projection. It's just the ego. Like
Mhm.
it's I don't know. It's
No,
crazy.
that's a great frame of mind to be. Yes, being in the shoes of other person and being empathetic, being, compassion, and, yeah, your
And
world is your world.
yeah, I think to me that's my favorite part of this experience is that you're able to see because when you were younger, you thought that everyone was confident. You saw that beautiful girl, you thought that she was happy and that she's confident, and you kind of resented her because you're like, oh, she got to suffer. Hope one day she could suffer, right? Oh, when you get older,
Mm.
you're gonna suffer. I'm like, nah, dude, she's suffering, dude. If you knew that she was suffering, you wouldn't feel this way, you know?
Hmm. 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 It's yeah. You don't generally know what's in people's head and their life stories, right? You really because we are always immersed in our own experience. It's very hard to, because you have the body shape form, right? You have here. We are always here, unless you have this interesting moment where you have an out of body experience. You're still here. So it's
Yeah.
really hard to see from another's perspective. But that is what the practice is about. It teaches you that.
Yeah, and then you sort of, and for me at least, I tell everyone about this because I know that this is what everyone is looking for. Like they may not know it, but this is what they're looking for. Like they just don't know it, and they don't know any better way. They what they're doing is their way, and they don't know this. If they knew, they would do this. You know?
You're teaching meditation in Mexico City, right? I see your group gatherings, your
Yeah,
posts.
yeah, yeah. But I don't teach Vispassana. I teach what Eckhart Tolle teaches because it's
Hmm.
kind of similar, right? Like what Eckhart Tolle teaches is kind of similar. The only difference is that Eckhart Tolle doesn't emphasize meditating. That motherfucker, man. Like he doesn't tell people to sit down and meditate. Like, dude, don't you like you agree with me? Like, what do you think of that? Like, it's crazy. He doesn't advocate that. He only has one part of the eightfold path.
Hmm.
Like, he doesn't talk about right action. Like, he doesn't talk about not like he doesn't talk about like the whole morality being moral. Like he does, but the more being moral is a part that people miss out because treating people bad adds sanskaras that makes it more difficult to meditate.
Hmm.
Like you can't be an asshole meditator. you know.
Yeah, there are so many different traditions, and that's why it is said that Buddha's is one of the purest form because he, talks about. I believe there are three aspects. You have obviously the first. I forget the name of it. The first aspect is morality, and then the second aspect is samadhi, the concept like samadhi, pure concentration. Come to the stillness where your mind is no longer distracting you. And the third thing is direct experiencing everything, experiencing that space, that state of
Mm.
bliss or whatnot. So it is like it always goes hand in hand. You have to sort of not pick one, or you have to go through the different stages.
Yeah, 100%. And what do you, where do you feel like you are now? Like, how does it feel after the retreat? Like emotionally, how you see the world?
Um, yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I feel more calm, more relaxed, more for example, I tried because sometimes I don't like turbulence that much. Okay, I was in the flight back because I was in Asia. I was in India, then I went to Bali, and then now I'm back in Austin. Um, so I was more connected in a nicer way, built a more relationship to my emotional state. That's one of the biggest things. Like, when the plane is shaking, right? Like, you might people generally think the plane might fall off the air. You say, you feel a bit. I used to feel a bit anxiety and afraid. Um, but I was able to tap into that part where be in a reactive state. Don't judge the state. Don't push it away. Don't even don't develop a craving to it. So it started like that, and then also I've seen aspects where there was part of me would have reacted much more strongly. I think that has calmed down, and I think it depends on practice. I'm trying. I try my best to be a good person, but there's always a part of me that's slightly could judge someone or
Yeah,
react in a way I shouldn't react. That still happens, but I think the biggest lesson was being aware of that.
exactly, right? Yeah, yeah. My fault. Because I was thinking that. I was literally saying, because you're aware now, you notice it more than
Yes, yes. I
before,
think
right?
that if you develop that part, it is a boost in your path.
It's funny. Like I went to Florida, and and there was this woman. I swear to God, she looked like she was from Skid Row.
One second, I gotta change this. Like she looked like like I was like I was like that woman's a drug addict. I was like that's a weird looking woman, right? Um, and then she looked at me. Oh my God, Father Alex, you from YouTube? And I'm God.
Nice.
I was like, and then I went up to her and she was like, "Oh my God, Delicious, you helped me so much. Your videos are so great." And I'm thinking, this girl doesn't know that I just judged the shit out of her.
Mm,
You know, it was like, but it's insane, dude. Like, it was so unfair to her because I looked at her, looked the way she dressed. I mean, look, man, don't be looking like that at the airport. But like my judgment, I was like, oh, she's this. Ugh, I'm not that.
mhm,
Like, I'm not that. She's that. I'm not that. Right. And then I would have just kept going about my day and I would have not noticed that judgment. Right. But
mm,
for some reason in that moment, I was like, I noticed myself judging her automatically. It wasn't like I did it, but it was just when you see something that looks like a crackhead, you're gonna like automatically. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like you're like doing it on purpose. And but then I felt bad. But then I was like, I didn't judge it. That was just my mind's reaction. I just observed it. Now I know it, and the next time it'll come, but not that much. And it
mm.
wasn't me. It was my old conditioning. You know just your old conditioning, and it's just
That
eventually
is,
it's gonna go away eventually. So someone's like, you can't even try to stop. You can't. It's like don't try to not judge people. Just observe it. Eventually, it'll go away. Like it's and that's like Eckhart Tolle says. When you do this, people think it's some superhero shit you're doing. It's like no, like this is. It's like if I clean my room and you're like, oh my God, it's clean. I'm like, of course, that's what happens when you clean your fucking room. It looks clean.
mhm,
you know, like it's everyone who does this, man, eventually will come to these conclusions and will see, and they'll become Buddhas. They'll become the same person, and not the
mm.
same, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, they say, I think the maybe Buddha, he said, but there's he doesn't um, hold a monopoly on the Buddha nature. He says this potential is latent within all of us. So the idea is to practice sometimes, find the right teaching, find the right guru, follow the right school, right? It's um it's tough to do it all by yourself and looking at YouTube videos or reading a book online. So it's great to go to these retreats, experience it firsthand, follow the right teachers and be consistent. And then you'll see the results firsthand.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy, bro, because that was your first retreat, and you have your whole lifetime to 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 go back and do it again and again and again and again. Like like that is something that we didn't know we were looking for,
Mm.
you know?
They say, right? Everything happens for a reason. Like, if you're meant to be in that, like every step that led you to finding out what is Vipassana, doing your research, hitting the registration button, getting there, it's all part of, the storyline of your storyline.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you plan on going again on serving? How much you gave?
Huh?
How much you gave? I didn't give the first time. I didn't have money.
I mean, I felt a part of me that needs to give. I give some. I
Yeah, I
think
was
it's good to
gonna.
it's good to give because they're doing a great service to humanity, right?
Yeah,
Um um they're giving you a place to stay, they're giving you meals. So, you don't have to, but give as much. I recommend people to give some so that the next person, at least they're able to feed the next person because they have costs for food and all this other administration. It's a non-profit organization, so the people have to run it. Um, so I highly recommend giving donation, and I think the more you are in this path, the more you will give. I mean, not only to organization like this, to whoever needs. Just develop the pureness of of giving without
expecting.
expecting. Yeah, yeah,
Like
and
me here, like, and that's true, bro. Because here, I get free drawing classes here,
Mm-hmm.
free meditation classes. They're all free. Like all of them are free. I'll go out of my way, teach it, free drawing classes, and like, and the reason why is because like, like there's rarely anything in life is free. Ev- and it's almost like, especially if you're in a country like Mexico and you're benefited from it, you got to give back somehow. You got to give back to this very same people who you're taking from, because at the end of the day, I'm making life difficult for people here. you know, and so it's kind of like with Vispassana, like I said, like compassion is an aggressive energy. Like you want to give, like you want to help. It's like it's a force that's like that comes with action. You know, and that to me is, you're doing it right when you have a compulsion to help, a compulsion to tell people about this and help them. And I think that, I mean, yeah, of course, our happiness matters, but true sign that you're really happy is when your happiness is contagious to other people. When other people find their liberation, like from because of your inspiration, seeing you change, and like, oh wow, like I knew this person. Wow, this really must work. I'm gonna do it. So it's kind of like that's the point. Like, yeah, I'm at peace, but my peace helped your ass, not you. Like my peace helped you. Like that to me is the ultimate. That's all I need. Like that's a sign that I'm doing it right, not because I'm happy, but because my happiness is changing you. Like when my happiness hurts you, that's wrong. Unless you're a hater.
Yeah, that's a beautiful philosophy to live by, and I have noticed the change in you, right? The first time we met, and the different faces. I think we all know each other because we've hung out for many times. We did different things, and yeah, the path takes us to different routes, but then we meet up again. So I've noticed some really positive changes in you. I think you moved because you were an experimenter. You were sort of out of the box. You try different things. You try novel things. You would not follow the norm. So you were always experimenting. So that experimentation has led you to successes, failures, beautiful moments. So I think that's, you have your own lifeline, right? But see, all of it brought to you this place, and I think everything is coming down. From your experimentation, I think you're moving into a more natural state of, experimenting with love, experimenting with peace. It's more of I feel experimentation has a lot of manipulation, not manipulation, like it's like doing XYZ without just experimenting, but then the internalization, naturalization comes from a different place, and I think you are over the years you have evolved, morphed into, you're becoming that person, and I really, it's a really powerful thing for the people you teach, the people you sort of guide. That's I think you're doing a lot of you're bringing a lot of good karma. That's what I feel.
Well, thank you, man. Like, like that's really flattering, but I don't know, like it's you try to help yourself, and you find something that helps, and you try to help other people, I prefer that, because a lot of YouTubers scam their followers. Like, a lot of YouTubers, bro, it's crazy, bro. Like a lot. My field is filled with people that legit are psychopaths. Like and the reason why they're so charismatic is because the psychopathic people are very charismatic. You
Mm.
know, and this field, toxicity is what wins. You know, and it's almost like, it's funny because like I used to hide that I meditate, but I used to tell people that I smoke weed. Okay.
Mm.
And it's almost like, why would you? Because I didn't want to show off that I'm spiritual, right? But it's like, dude, why would you tell people you smoke weed, but not tell people you meditate? You gotta just let people, you're only showing the bad part. Like, get them to imitate, because people imitate. You know what I'm saying? Like, when people are in the same vibration, they will imitate things you do. And if you tell them only the bad things, that's all they're gonna do. And that's why I kind of like what you did, because I didn't know me telling you that got you to do that. Like, honestly, I thought you found out some other way, but that's how I got into it. Like, all the things that I got into is because I saw someone doing something good, and because they were showing me something good, I decided to follow it. But that speaks to your mentality, because a lot of people hear that I do this and they don't do it. They'll never do it their whole lives. And that to me is the worst part. That like there are some friends that watch me do a lot of shit, but they don't do nothing. And it's almost like that should inspire you. Like if I have friends that did a lot, I'll be doing more. Like I'll be doing much more of my friends did more, but you go it's you got to get lucky sometimes. And we got lucky that we met each other, right? Because at the end of the day, all of this wouldn't happen if we wouldn't have met.
Mhm.
Like everything happens for a reason, you know, and it's as long as your intentions are good on your path, even if you're on the wrong path, when your intentions are good, eventually you'll find the right path. Eventually you will. You know,
Mhm.
but yeah, man, I'm excited, bro, because it's like it's only the beginning. After the second retreat, it gets crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, did you feel the vibrations?
I felt some form of vibration. Yeah.
Did
What
you
was
like?
your, what was
Did you
your, what
did you
was
feel? Did you feel like that you like holographic?
holographic? Some a very a similar sensation, but I couldn't describe it.
Oh, there's something else waiting for you, man. Oh yeah, there
You
comes
felt
a
it in the
point like
second one? You felt it in
yeah,
the
my
second
second
one?
one, yeah. But again, I had a lot of bad karma. So it's kind of like for me it took longer. It's usually you feel the vibrations in the first retreat a little bit. I didn't
Mhm.
feel any vibrations in the first retreat. It was just gross sensation, like pure unconsciousness, right? But on the second one, dude, it legit felt like I was holographic.
Mm.
Like I didn't feel any like any sense of solidity.
Mm.
Just pure holographic, and imagine when you're watching like a hologram, and imagine you putting your hand through a hologram. Imagine if you were alive and somebody put a hand through you. That's how it felt like, because when you scan the body, you penetrate it, right? And dude, I got scared because I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like it's what you hear when you hear about Buddhism, and the vibration and subatomic and atoms. You feel that. And the worst part was that when I went to sleep and I woke up the next day, I remember I woke up, I was like, fuck, I still feel this shit. Like, because I couldn't control it. It was too intense.
Mm.
It almost like it was like when you're having a bad trip and you smoke too much. It was just such a you I elevated too fast, too quick. Yeah, at least for me. Um, but then the second retreat, the third retreat is gonna be insane. Like I know like this one is not gonna I'm not gonna suffer. This one's gonna be like crazy shit. I could feel it. So that's like those are some of the things that like when you do this, man, like you start to expect to like expect some crazy experiences. The first retreat is always the hardest one. After that, like and it's almost like it'll get you to meditate more because it becomes intense. Like it becomes like just insane that you'll want to meditate more, which then increases it. And it's almost like you accelerate towards like enlightenment. It's almost like in the beginning it's slow because like you're starting a car. When you start a car, that's when it takes up the most energy. So it's like slow. But then as you keep doing it just accelerates fast because it
Mm.
becomes more enjoyable. You get what I'm saying?
Mm. Okay. Yeah, I've heard Goenka mention that you will have some unnatural, blissful experiences. So it'll be interesting to see how I feel it and how I react to it.
Are you
Yeah.
when do you when do you plan to do another retreat if you plan?
I don't know. Maybe when should I? Do you have any recommendation after how? What was your time gap between the first and the second one?
My 4 months.
4 months. Okay. Mm.
Yeah. So it was look for me, dude. I was addicted to MDMA. I was partying too much, so I had addictions. So I had issues. So for me, it was intense because of that. But for most people, they do once a year or once every 2 years. You know, but it'll be cool if we could go to India, go to Brazil. Go to upstate, do one. That'll be cool.
Yeah. So you are going to the Mexico one soon, right?
Yeah, this Wednesday. Yeah. I
Okay.
honestly, I think they have space. You should check.
I would love to hear your experience, and perhaps, yeah, if I ever visit, I'll also look into if they have any in Mexico also. But yeah,
Yeah, dude. If you ever do one, just let me know, and I'll sign up for that. I don't mind. I would any excuse to travel. To be honest with you. So
I had a funny experience. I don't know if you can. It's up to you if you want to um, um, edit this or remove it in the podcast. So you know how you're supposed to um, not look at anyone, how you're not supposed to talk to anyone, be in your own space. There's this funny one where is this guy, he was just like, giving an eye to other guys. It's like so I completely ignored him, and yeah, he tried some funny things with other guys, and a few of them got freaked out, and he escaped. But yeah, I'm just mentioning it because it's
they
a
kicked
funny
them out, right? They
experience.
kicked them out.
He ran away. He ran away. He ran away.
Yeah, that happened in my retreat where a guy had a psychotic breakdown. He threw water at me.
He threw
Crazy.
water at you
Yeah.
during
Um.
meditation.
Well, outside when we were walking, he just like he had a water bottle. It was crazy. Honestly, it was like an athletic feat because he was like this, looking this way. He had his water bottle, and I was walking here, and the dude was like, boop, hit me in my face, and then crazy accuracy, crazy accuracy. Um, but I remember in my first retreat on the sixth day, I wanted to leave. In fact, I was ready to leave. I said, "Fuck this shit. I'm done." This is because they had mosquitoes and they didn't want to kill the mosquitoes. And I would tell the teacher, Maria, I was like, Maria, listen, man, we got to do something about these mosquitoes. And I swear to God, I was like, they're all up in my face. I swear to God, Shamin, what happened next, you're not gonna believe it. When I said that, as soon as a mosquito landed on her face, she was like, "What do you mean?"
Wow.
I was like, that's what I mean, Maria. Kill that shit. She was like, "You can't kill it." I was like, "What do you mean you can't kill it?" She was like, "It's bad karma." I was like, "How about this, Maria? I'll take the bad karma and I'll kill it for everyone." She was like, "Nah." I was like, "Oh, fuck this shit, man." And I'm getting pissed off because they're buzzing in my ear. And when you're trying not to move and they're buzzing in your ear, bro, it's infuriating. And I'm like, I was waiting. It was like a break. It was like a 12, and they were doing the interviews. And I saw a group of Mexicans because they were doing constructions. And I'm like, you know what? They leave in 3 hours. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go with these Mexicans. I packed up and I was about to walk up to them. And then one of the guys in the group, I could tell that he was also suffering. I was like, you know what, man, before I leave, let me get this shit out. And I was like, dude, I'm about to leave. He was like, what? What are you talking about? I was like, dude, I fucking hate these mosquitoes. And he was like, you too? I fucking hate them too. I was like, yeah. I was like, they think they're fucking holy cows in India. Like, you can't kill them. And we just started laughing, bro. Like, we never laughed so hard. I never laughed so much in my life. And then he was like, yo, let's just go meditate. And I was like, fuck it, let's go meditate. And I think that was a good way to break the rule. If it's like the last thing, because I was seriously ready to leave, dude. Like, and like, I was like, fuck it. Like, if I'm gonna, like, I'd rather do it halfway. I'd rather do it 90% right than leave.
Mhm.
I'd rather break a few rules than to leave. I'm sorry. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's like not the right mindset, but it's like, you know,
Those mosquitoes were disturbing you while you're meditating?
dude, they don't kill mosquitoes, bro.
No.
And they,
Were they like on your face while you're
yeah,
meditate?
bro. The guys on the 10th day, they were talking about the mosquitoes, and they were like, dude, they were walking in my face. I was like, dude, I was killing them all. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm killing them. And then they have a bug catcher, a little bug catcher, like a thing. And how am I gonna catch mosquitoes? So that was like my struggle, the mosquitoes and the flies. That was like, I hated them, and I was like, I told the guy, I was like, yo, man, if this is what I have to deal with to get enlightened, fuck enlightenment. Like, we're like, fuck this shit. Oh man, dude. So
Hilarious.
you're doing interviews on YouTube, right?
Yeah, I have a podcast called Inner Sanctuary where I interview, high performers, people who are doing great, like, amazing feats, teachers, spiritual masters, health coaches. So it's
What's it
yeah,
called?
Inner Sanctuary. I'll send you
Yeah,
the
yeah. I could
link.
give you like I have a YouTube course that I'm taking. I could give it to you and you can check it out if you want. It'll help you with the channel.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, because you okay. Is that you, right?
Oh, no, no,
Oh,
no. Inner Sanctuary, does it say Shamim Khaled? No, that's not me. Is it tequila or something?
no, it says Hamas. No, okay. Shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How you spell your name? Fuck.
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh, Shamin.
this is the one. I'm sending it to you on
Okay,
Instagram
I
so
see
you
it.
can you find it?
Innocent. Yeah. No, I didn't see it. Yeah, send it to me. Send it to me.
Yeah. So yeah, it's my YouTube channel. Two, 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 two.
Who was the last person you interviewed there?
The last person I interviewed was her name is some- it's called a oops. Yeah, it's where did it go? Unlocking your learning potential and AI in education. Uh, yeah, I just sent it to you on Instagram.
Mhm. Okay. Oh, unlocking your learning potential. Dr. Islam. That's not it.
And I sent it to you on Instagram,
Okay, let me see.
Professor Barbara Oakley.
Okay. Oh shit. Nice. Amazing, dude. Hell yeah. That's great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 22 videos. Yeah, well, okay, dude. Why you stop uploading? What happened?
Yeah, I got busy with other things, so I need to go back. I'm gonna go back to it soon. Yeah, I need to do it more consistently. That's one thing I like about you. You are really committed to growing your channel and spreading your message. Like I really love that drive. So I think you've grown your channel to a point. You have your message is spreading. You have people who listen to you. That's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a privilege because there's an element of luck to how my channel grew, right? It's just true. There's luck, a lot of luck behind it, you know. Um, yeah, it's just I got lucky, bro. I don't know what else to say. Like it's just I don't know how it happened. I don't know if I could do it all over again if I could, to be honest with you, because the algorithm is weird, bro. It's just weird, the algorithm, you know? It's a weird thing. Um, but yeah, man, I'm gonna upload it. I'm gonna upload this. What other services you have? Do you like
Yeah, I coach people, in
what
high
kind of coaching?
performance, getting their life together, health, wellness, fit, mostly mental and physical health, living living a purposeful life, getting their routines fixed, getting focus, energy throughout the day. Those are sort of my main sort of services.
Hmm.
I just love helping people in whatever way I can. Uh, You know, you're
Yeah, that's awesome,
uplifting their
dude. You should
mood.
let me know of like a topic that you want to talk about. I can upload it to my channel and then I send people over to your channel. Whatever you feel like that's the whatever topic you feel like you like. Oh, this one can help people.
Hmm.
And you can upload it there, and I'll give you that thing to but the YouTube course that I took that'll help you. It can help with the thumbnails and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And I think also even this conversation we had, the back and forth experiences, I think it will it will benefit a lot of people. And I think we had a really heartful, genuine conversation about our experiences, our stages in meditation. And I hope, it inspires a lot of people to take up the practice. Uh,
Yeah, I think the most impactful thing that I teach is no, my mission in life is to get people to meditate more. Like honestly,
mm,
like I don't care what you do if you purchase a course, and I've had a lot of people say, "Hey, Alex, I finished doing that course. I just came out of it." Like, don't message me first, like that. Like don't. Oh shit, like that's really cool, man. That's a But at the end of the day, that's the Buddha. Like that's who everyone is, and we're pointing towards each other. So that's really cool, man. That's really cool. Anything else, bro? People should know any products or you have
yeah,
courses? Have you made courses?
I haven't done anything. I'm too lazy, but I think I'm really slacking in sort of giving my what I feel is my true calling to the outside world. That is something I need to do. I thank you for yeah. It'll be nice if you're my accountability coach. Just tap me sometimes, like Shamim. What have you released? What have you
It's
given to the world?
for me, what inspires me to do it every day is because honestly, I don't, because it's true, I do it every day, but I don't notice it, like because it's just I like it, like I like making videos. But to be honest, with you, it's always for me. It's always saying, okay, I want a viral video today. And it's not that I
Mm,
try to do viral video, but that does motivate me. And like, or like ideas, like me when we used to go out, I used to be like, "Ooh, I got this idea," and that's how it feels. Like, "Ooh, let me put this on camera, let me talk about it." But also for me, it's also the money. Like, if I'm being honest, like it's just I want to earn money. I get to talk about this while I could earn money on YouTube. And every day I don't make a video, I don't earn money. That's how I see it, you know.
mm,
And it just it keeps it going, and it keeps me motivated. But you're gonna notice though, if you keep meditating, you're gonna have more willpower, and 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 you're gonna notice that the resistance that you feel for making videos, they'll vanish because you're just gonna observe them. Eventually, they're gonna go away, and eventually, what you're meant to do, you're gonna do it because the blockages, which is the sankaras, are gonna just go away. You're
mm.
gonna feel this like energy, like an energy to do more, and eventually you'll do it. It's inevitable if you keep meditating. Like it's very difficult to keep things that you have to do in the back of your mind when you consistently meditate. It's really difficult. Like you're gonna eventually do what you have to do. I for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
Okay.
yeah, bro. You let me know what video topic you want me to upload for you. I want to, and I could recommend people to go to your channel. I'm a link your channel there. And yeah, dude, and yeah, let me know if you ever want to talk again. I'm down. No big deal. It's make easy content talking like this.
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed our conversation, and continue the great work you're doing in Mexico City, creating
And I
content.
told you, right? Remember, I told you a few years ago, if you start a channel, I'll do an interview. Remember that,
Okay.
right?
Yes. It's happening now.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like like you got to get a taste of it. But dude, your channel is doing, bro. It's actually getting views. I mean, for 500 subscribers to have 1,800 views, like,
Mhm.
and you only posted 22 videos, that's pretty good. If I was you, if I would have seen this, I would like, oh fuck this job. I'm doing this all the time. Like I'll just keep uploading. So I'm fine. I would find more people to interview, bro. Like hit up some people. I don't where do you find these people?
These are people mostly I met in retreats, and some people I reached out. Very few people, like the professor. I reached out to her, send her an email, told her, this is my
So you're
channel.
you're you're doing like Chris Williamson strategy, hitting people up and interviewing them.
Oh, okay. I
You
don't know
know who he
what's
is,
that.
right? The
Uh,
interviewer.
Chris Williamson.
Yeah. Look, he has a blue thing. Look. Oh shit. It's too low. One second.
It's
Here.
too bright. It's too bright. Ah, this guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Where
okay.
if you watch his first videos, he's interviewing people on Zoom. I think all you gotta do, bro, get a list of people that you find interesting, books, whatever. Not too high, but like people who are in the middle, you know,
Mhm,
and ask them to interview them. YouTubers, like, because if you like, it seems like it's working. Like, I would continue if I was you.
mhm. Okay.
You know,
All right.
so find someone by next week. Just interview them, bro. I know you want to talk to them,
Oh,
right?
nice.
Interview some pickup Owen Wilson, Owen RSD guy. I don't give a fuck, right? Like, just find them all, right? And upload this on your channel too.
Mhm.
All right.
So, yeah, yeah. Thanks for the suggestions.
All right, Shamin. I'm gonna end the recording right now. Okay.
Okay, bro.
All
Yeah,
right, one
yeah.
second.